In this question we've been given the following diagram. We're told that ship A and ship B can both be seen from the lighthouse. That ship A is 5 kilometres from the lighthouse on a bearing of 0 to 8 degrees, and ship B is 5 kilometres from ship A on a bearing of 130. Now, it's important to recognise that whilst this is an isosceles triangle, the first question asks us to find the angles x and y. To find the angles x and y, we actually don't need to use this portion of the triangle to start with. What we need to do is we need to recognise that the two north arrows are in fact parallel, as they should be. So, if I have ship A to the lighthouse, and that angle there is 28 degrees, it tells me, by virtue of being alternate angles, that that angle in there must also be 28 degrees, which means the angle that comes on the outside, which is x, must be equal to 180 degrees minus 28, or 152 degrees. To then find angle y, what I need to recognise is that if 152 degrees is there and 130 degrees is there, then the angle between must be 360 degrees minus the 130 and minus the 152. So that's 360 degrees minus 130 degrees, which will give me 230 degrees. And from the 230 degrees I subtract the 152 degrees. So that's 200 minus 100 is 130 degrees. 130 minus 50 is 80 degrees. 80 degrees minus 2 degrees is 78 degrees. So the entirety of y is 78 degrees. So here is our updated diagram now, showing the values for x and y. Part B of this question asks us to determine the bearing of the lighthouse from ship A. In other words, looking from ship A at the lighthouse. To find this bearing, we simply need to say, well, how many degrees do I need to rotate through in order to get to this perspective? So that'll be 130 plus 78, which gives us a total of 208 degrees. So the bearing of the lighthouse from ship 8 is 208 degrees. In part C, we've been asked to find the bearing of ship B from the lighthouse. In other words, we want the bearing from the lighthouse to ship B. So to find that, what we need to do is we need to find the angle that's in here. Now, since this is an isosceles triangle, two sides of exactly the same length, that means that this angle and this angle must be the same. Since those angles are both the same, and we know that the sum of all angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, we have the following. We start with 180 degrees and we subtract the 78 degrees that appears at the top. This gives us 102 degrees. If we divide 102 degrees by 2, we'll get 51 degrees. So that tells me this angle in here is 51 degrees, this angle in here is 51 degrees. And therefore the bearing from the lighthouse to the ship is 28 plus 51, which is 79 degrees. So the bearing from lighthouse to ship B is 079 degrees.